It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. It's been a long time since I last reviewed a beer from Fierce Beer up in Scotland. But we have one today. This is the Bourbon Maple Pancake, barrel aged at 7.4% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. Based in Aberdeen, Scotland. Dice in Aberdeen in Scotland, to be precise. It looks good. It's actually a, I've just seen on the back of the can here, it's an amber ale. So it's not, I mean, looking at that, you would think, it's like an imperial stout, isn't it? But it's described as a decadent amber ale. Going to say a massive thank you to Stephen Claxon. Thank you very much, Stephen, for sending me the beer. Really appreciate it. Stephen sent me a wonderful kind of array of beers from Trembling Madness in York. He either ordered them online or he travelled there and picked the beers up. I think he sent them from Trembling Madness, but wonderful gesture. Really lovely gesture. Thank you, Stephen. Cheers. This is on you. Beer in the glass then. I just realised I reviewed a Polly's Kolsch just now, and I had this glass ready to do this beer review, this Bourbon Maple Pancake, and I poured it in a Polly's glass. I could have used the Polly's glass for the Kolsch, but never mind. I wanted to use a proper Kolsch glass, a proper kind of lager glass anyway, so don't make much difference. Point is, Polly's are being shown off anyway in another review. One finger, I'm going to say ever so slightly off-white head on this one. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. It's a, well, it's definitely an amber ale. Definitely an amber ale, but there's some haze in there. A nice bit of haze. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. Again, it's been a while since I reviewed a Fierce beer. The first time I come across Fierce beer was probably 2013, around that time. They had a Brewdog showcase in Cardiff, and they had all of their beers, like it was like a tap takeover. I'm not sure if Brewdog still do these tap takeovers, but it was a Fierce beer tap takeover, and that was the first time I tried anything from Fierce beer, and I liked it, to be honest with you. I liked it, and I think it really helped to get the name Fierce beer out there in the craft beer world. So Brewdog, whatever you say about Brewdog, they do some good stuff in the craft beer world. They showcase smaller breweries every now and again, which is always a good thing. So aroma on the beer then. Oh, it's really kind of like a burnt caramel. Like caramel that's been set on fire. Loads of burnt toffee caramel aromas coming from this beer. It smells delicious. You get that kind of barrel aged loveliness about it. That kind of slight woody, dry aroma. There's a bit of chocolate in it as well. There's a little bit of kind of vanilla-y kind of white chocolate aroma going on. Bit of raisin as well. That is really complex. Really complex. And of course, loads of maple. In fact, a lot of that burnt caramel that I was talking about is in fact a maple aroma. Same as the raisin. I think the raisin that I was just talking about kind of ties in with that kind of maple aroma. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, really sweet. Wow. Woo, really sweet beer. Oh, I was expecting something different. I was expecting something very, very different. Wow, that's sweet. Oh, cloying sweetness. It's the maple, definitely the maple coming through. Carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. You get the malt, you get loads of maple, you get vanilla. On a personal note, you're probably sick to death of me saying this, but I can only give you my kind of personal opinion on the beer. I don't like sweet beer. I know you're probably like rolling your eyes at this point, but I don't like sweet beer. This is way too sweet for me. Way too sweet. It kind of... I've set my palate into like complete bitterness mode. And that was from beer. Before I reviewed beer on YouTube, I used to have a really big sweet tooth. But I realised, after drinking lots of bitter beers, you know, the old 100 IBU beers back in the day, that I thoroughly enjoyed bitterness much more than I enjoyed kind of sweetness. So I moved my palate away from anything sweet. In fact, I forgot to mention it yesterday. I did some beer reviews yesterday, but I went to the dentist, and this woman dentist, she was kind of like, you know, them type of people, they're trying to catch you out. We got you on something. So she started off, how much sweet stuff do you eat? And I said, I don't like sweet stuff. And she looked at me kind of weirdly, like she never believed me. And then she kind of said, do you like sweets and chocolate? And do you like that? And I was like, no, honestly, don't like sweet stuff. Look at my teeth. I don't like sweet stuff. I went to a previous dentist, I went to the same dentist, but I was seen by a previous dentist, and he said to me, I can, just by looking at your teeth, he said, I can tell you don't like sweet stuff. And I said that to this woman, and lovely woman, lovely woman dentist. But I said this to this woman, the previous dentist said, and she said, actually, looking at your teeth, I can see that you don't like sweet stuff. But she was determined to get me on something. And she looked at my notes, and there's a thing on it now regarding alcohol. Do you smoke or do you drink? So, of course, I don't smoke, but I drink. And it asks how many units of alcohol. I don't know how many units of alcohol I drink in a week, so I just put 10 pints. And she said to me, she said, and, you know, she got me on something. She went, she said, you need to reduce your alcohol. And I said, well, I can't. And she said, well, why is that? And I said, well, I review beer for a living. she, oh, right, okay. She said, but alcohol increases the risk of oral cancer. And I went, right, okay. This is the first I've ever heard of oral cancer. And I'm in one of these, I live in this world where I think if you listen to everything that you're supposed to do and not supposed to do, and you know, you'd end up living such a boring life, wouldn't you? If you went along with like trying to live forever, you know, trying to like outsmart the Grim Reaper, if you like. And the next thing she said to me, do you drink orange squash or orange juice? And I said, yeah, I quite like orange juice. I quite like orange squash. And the acidity in orange juice and orange squash will rot your teeth. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you need that vitamin C in your body. Surely you need that vitamin C. I just found this whole experience terrible in the end, because I was having to explain myself. why I drink as much as I do, and it's my job. And she said, and it was almost as if like she was like, she was baffled by the fact that I work in the beer industry. And she went, well, at least try and reduce your alcohol. And I thought, that's what was going on in my head. Don't you dare like tell me what I can do in a career, what I can't do in a career. You know? And it just, the more she was going on about this, the more it was doing my head in. But anyway, back to this sweet beer. Bourbon Maple Pancake, an old favourite, aged in bourbon barrels for 6 months to create a decadent amber ale loaded with the notes of creamy vanilla, indulgent maple syrup and rich oak. Rich oak is definitely there. The maple is definitely there. The vanilla is definitely there. It all leans to a very sweet beer. And it's quite disappointing for me on a personal level. If you love sweet beer, you probably will love this. Way too sweet and cloying for me though. I'm going to be honest with you, I won't drink the rest of that. I won't drink the rest of that when it's way too sweet for me. On a personal level, I'll pour that down the sink. But again, if you like sweet stuff, you'll love this beer. For me, way too sweet, 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!